Gran Turismo 7 has been announced. Let's watch the trailer. Let's break it down. This is absolutely amazing. Okay, so let's check out this trailer. What we're going to start with is, of course, PlayStation Studios as the logo. We're going to go into it and really break down what we see. We're going to do a quick analyze this, and then we're going to get really down to it. So first we're seeing buttons inside of a car. It looks like maybe a Lamborghini. And then we're going to be seeing some cars crashing like I do myself in this game all the time. And check out the graphics. We are getting out of a garage at that point, which is something that we've seen in other Gran Turismo games. And we're seeing the interiors of the car, which means to me that they're really going to be emphasizing the quality of the look of the cars. Now, getting back into the race, we are now seeing how detailed the surroundings are going to be. Now, PlayStation's Unreal Engine is absolutely amazing, and I'm going to be breaking down some of the things that I would expect in this game as well, coming in, of course, PlayStation 5 time, which is coming at the end of this year. Now we're seeing the campaign, what looks to be the campaign mode, and we're going to be breaking down that map as well in just a few seconds time, so make sure to stay tuned. Now we see some of the customized things that are going to be happening in this game. They're focusing on rims as well, which gives me some ideas, and we're going to be breaking that down after this trailer as well. Now we're going to be going back into a race, and we're going to be able to see how those lights, like the sun and everything else, is interacting with how the car looks, as well as probably the pavement as well. But we're going to go further into detail with that as well. This is a very exciting time. Gran Turismo 7 is a game that I have been looking forward to for a very long time. Gran Turismo Sport just has not really done it for me. There's no real actual campaign mode. But as we can see in this trailer, there's a lot of similarities between Sport and 7 with how the screen itself looks. It almost looks as if Gran Turismo Sport was just thrown out there so that they could get something on PlayStation 4, maybe get people trained on how to race in the game so that when the actual Gran Turismo 7 comes out, it's going to be a much bigger launch. Possibly professional racing online. Let's get down and let's break down this clip. So, at first, we are getting a glimpse of what looks to be different modes, some four-way flasher symbols, as well as other types of what looks to be a defroster button. So, they're really going to be really targeting what the interior of the cars look like. Now, we're going to be moving on into more interior shots. This seems like something that they are really trying to focus on. And especially when we get over to the race scenes, they have mostly all interior car views, which tells me they are really going to be looking at how the car looks like on the interiors, and possibly as their main view or focal point when you are racing. As we can see here, this is the interior views, and we're even getting the shadows. Look at the dashboard, okay? We're getting the actual shadows of the trees that are going by. This is crazy. This is absolutely amazing. Now, something with the Unreal Engine with the PlayStation 5 is we can actually look, and this is a streamed copy of this trailer, but you're seeing all the individual blades of grass. And what that tells to me is the damage to the surroundings. So let's say you come up and hop the curb and start running along those grass lines. They're probably going to stay there for the rest of the race at the very minimum. Now, check this out. This is absolutely amazing. So we have a mirrored interior of the truck and the car coming and backing out. What this symbolizes to me is possibly a fantastic career mode, but also a career mode that blends in with online racing, which is something that I've been wanting in the game. Now we're getting back over to some different racing scenes, and again, focusing in on the interior of this car. Lots of focus on interiors, but also exteriors. We now view the engine through the grills of that Porsche Carrera. Again, more interior views, and now we're going over to the garage scene, but we've seen the garage scene multiple times, and what that does symbolize in my eyes is that it's going to be a fantastic career mode. So now we've got the interior view of the engine in this car anyways, focusing on the exterior of another car, but really focusing in on the details of the interiors. What this now is starting to symbolize to me is maybe there's going to be a really great ability to upgrade the cars. This is going to be something that's been lacking in Gran Turismo Sport. Now, this is a great outdoor scene. Look how realistic that actually looks. So, and obviously the shade comes over. So, PlayStation 5 has what's called the Unreal Engine. And there's going to be billions and billions of little triangles. And what I mean by triangles is basically essentially pixels. I know that's not what they are, but I'm just trying to explain it to somebody who may not know as much as some others. But basically, it's the ability to really look and to change the details on the fly. And now, we're even getting some of the details in the paint. As we know, the paint on the road is slipperier than the actual pavement itself. So if you're running up in this area of the track, it might be a bit more slippery than it would be down in this area. And these are all different things that they can actually add with the Unreal Engine of the PlayStation 5. So this is what looks to be a map of Gran Turismo. Now, we've got the school, we've got Brand Central, which is where we are going to be purchasing the cars. We have used cars, which is actually an interesting thing. So possibly, if somebody has a car in the game, this is signifying to me that there's going to be a lot of cars. 1,200 plus cars in the game. That's what I'm taking from this. Because if there is a used car section, that means that maybe somebody online is going to be looking to sell their car because maybe they have 2 or 3 of the same car, or maybe they just need to find the cash to be able to actually get a bigger, better car, or maybe some upgrades to another car, and they might be looking to sell their car. We already know we can sell our cars in Gran Turismo Sport, but with Gran Turismo Sport, unless you buy the car, you sell it to get some cash back. But if you win a car, you can't sell it. So maybe that might be an area where some really rare cars could be found that people win. Next is a thing way over into this corner they don't really show, but it says GT Sport something. And what I'm going to be taking away from this is maybe that's going to be an online league of some kind. And then there's going to be what looks to be multi-something, maybe multiplayer. Maybe you can race with your friends. Those drag races I mentioned in a previous video, you might be able to just kind of roam around with your friends and then go from there. GT Auto and Tuning Parts Shop. Those two are interesting to me. So Brand Central is where you purchase your car. GT Auto and Tuning Parts Shop. Tuning Parts Shop to me sounds like obviously that's going to be upgrading your engine, upgrading your suspension, maybe making your car lighter with carbon fiber kits or whatever else there is. Maybe putting a dual exhaust on there to have better airflow so that you could have a possible better, faster car. GT Auto, that's interesting. Will that be a different car place that you can purchase cars, or will that be maybe where you can rear of your car? And then there's GT Cafe, which sounds interesting as well. GT Cafe to me sounds like maybe it's just an online maybe communications portal where you can maybe make some new friends on GT7, or I'm not too sure. That looks interesting as well. There's also what looks to be possibly something that says sessions. So maybe you can have some racing sessions against other people. And then there's GT World and Discover. Maybe one of those two links will be for you to just race around in a city that we see on this board as it is. Maybe this map is something that you can drive around in a real city and drive up to these different places. Or you can go back to the map and just click on it if you didn't feel like driving around. That would be really cool. Then we have Scapes. Scapes is what we already know in GT Sport. That's where I make most of my thumbnails. And then there's Championships. Championships we probably already know. That's going to be their online league, so you can race and see who can become the best racer in the game and win maybe a chance of becoming a real race car driver. And then there's Home, which is interesting once again. And from my memory of what Home really is in Gran Turismo 3, which is way back, is where you're able to see your cars, your garage, and where you can switch your cars, because obviously this person is driving the Aston Martin DB11 from 2016. So different things like that. This looks really exciting to me. I am extremely excited about this. Now this person clicked on Home. It goes into Home. And now we are looking at the car that we are driving. So this then fully solidifies the idea of this is probably our garage. Now this says, this is your home. It's where your garage, hey, look at that, is for storing your favorite cars. And of course, that's a really nice car. So I'm not going to lie, that's a really cool car. Now, change a car, car settings, car index, and gifts. So gifts, maybe that could be prizes from races. Maybe that's gifts from your friends list on Gran Turismo 7. Maybe that's gifts from just friends in general or just random people, or maybe the game itself. Now we're getting more interior views of the car. I guess they are really looking at the details of the cars, making it as lifelike as possible. And now we're going back to racing the car itself. This is going to be a really cool game. Anyways, I hope that you have enjoyed this breakdown. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys again next time.